Go to our next speaker. I hope he is online already. That is, let me see. That's Naji. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Ah, cool. So I need to pin you, and I need to unpin the other one. Remove pin, Johan. Yeah, there we go. So how? Where are you from?
I'm from France, but I live in Barcelona. Spain.
Barcelona. So we have Paris, now we have Barcelona. Very good. Great to have you with us. What do you do at Eco? How do I pronounce it? Equito app?
Equito. Well, it depends on the country that you are in. In Spain, they say more Equito.
Equito.
Yeah, but we say Equito, like equity, but ending with an O.
Cool. Yeah, well, great. Do you have a presentation that you would like to share?
Yes, I have it. I'm gonna share my screen right now.
Let me see if that works. Yes, I see your presentation. If you put it on, yes, that's even better.
Perfect.
Well, great. I will give you the floor. And if people have any questions, just put them in the chat, and we will come back to you when your presentation is finished and go through some questions.
Perfect. Very good. Do you see the main slides or the presenter slides?
Yes.
Perfect.
Real estate for everyone.
Yes, that is us. Well, first of all, thank you for having me, for having Equito today. Thank you, Wouter. Thank you, Krista, for the organization and your communication. Real estate and ESG were not always very good friends. It's been only a few years that we are seeing that topic being trending more and more. And what's really interesting these past 2 years, we've seen from the different conferences and the different financing company that we speak with, that the funds are going into ESG, and we know that where the funds are going, projects are developing. So it's really interesting to see this. It's really interesting to see initiatives as this one and to be part of it. So thank you again, Christian and Wouter. Naji, the co-founder and COO of Equito app. And today I'm here to tell you a little bit about my story, how we created Equito with my co-founder Robin and I, how we integrated from the first moment ESG as some of our core values, and how we integrate ESG in our vision, in how we want to develop the company. It's been almost 20 years now that my parents keep telling me, Naji, whenever you can, whenever you have the money for, invest in real estate. It is a safe asset. Don't invest in stock. It's like playing at the lottery. And as a lot of good sons do when parents keep saying and giving advice, what I did is the exact opposite, actually. I started by investing in stocks. But it's not that I didn't want to invest in real estate. It's that I couldn't. For stocks, I could invest from a few euros with the amount I started to have with my first job. I could invest from my phone, but real estate was another story. My co-founder and I, Robin, we met 5 years ago in Barcelona. We were working for an advertising company. Robin left. He came back to Barcelona because the life is very nice there. And we decided to invest together in real estate. So I finally ended up listening to my parents' advice. But when we started this project, we confronted 3 main problems that actually most of the population in Europe are confronted to. The first one is the money issue. Millions of people cannot enter the real estate market. Here in Spain, the bank needs you to put 20 to 30% as down payment, which is understandable. It's not a critic, just that for a lot of people, it's difficult to afford. In Barcelona, to buy a 50 square meter, you'll have to put upfront 40,000 to 60,000 euros. In Spain, that closes the door to a lot of people. So socially, it's this type of asset is excluding a lot of people from the market. The time that you need. We both had full-time jobs back at the time. So you have to meet with the agencies, look at the listings. When you look for a property that is below 500K, you have to look at the listings every hours because everyone is looking for such assets. So it takes a lot of time. Go to the visit, go to the bank, etc., etc. If you have a life, kids, a family, a social life, and a full-time job, this makes it very difficult for you to start investing. We pulled some data about this later on, and we discovered from the beginning of the research, since the ownership of a property, on average, people take 8 months to finalize a real estate project. It's a lot of time. And expertise, there are a lot to know in real estate. So there are two cases. People that have to learn a lot of things about a lot of topics in a small amount of time, and other people that couldn't learn all the different topics. And sometimes it happens that after a first purchase, we have surprises for the property that we bought. So these are the three main problems that we confronted: the money, the time, and the expertise. We discovered that most of the people couldn't enter the real estate market because of these problems, and we decided to try to solve them. We asked some of our friends to join us and to invest together. More people, more money, more time, more expertise, right? But it didn't work out that way because we didn't know each other. My friends didn't know Robin, so they didn't trust Robin. Robin's friends, the same for me, and each of our friends, they didn't trust each other to have all the same interests. So it didn't work out. And that is where we thought, how could we solve these money, time, and expertise problem to enable anyone to invest in the real estate market? And this is where we created Equito. Equito is a solution that enables anyone to invest in the real estate market because you can start investing from 100 euros. We choose this specific amount because it's accessible for anyone. Even a student can save 100 euros, maybe not in 1 month, but at least 1 or 2 times a year, and start to invest 1 or 2 times a year in real estate. It is fast because, as we said, people have a life, a job, a family, and it becomes difficult to invest a lot of time in a project like this. With Equito, you can invest in 2 minutes in real estate. And it's easy. You don't have to know about everything because the real estate is managed by professionals, and basically we put the information in a way that it is easy to understand for you. So from a user perspective, how it works is very simple. I'm an investor. I'm interested in investing in real estate, but I cannot do it by myself because I can't have a loan, for example. So I download the app. I look at the Equito opportunities. I decide which one I want to invest in, and I receive my rents every month. When the property is sold, I receive also part of the capital gain. I have access also to a purchasing experience that is similar as a real property because I can enter inside of the property and see exactly what I am buying. So now I'm in the kitchen. The kitchen looks good, and basically I decide to go in the living room because it's 4 people will live there. I saw this on the app, so I want to make sure that I'm buying a 4 people property. I can also see the exact locations of my property and all the information of this property. So the information was, we studied the way that we displayed the information so that we enable anyone to access to the relevant information in a few clicks, but we also give the opportunity to go more in details if you wish to. From a company perspective, we take care of all the rest. We find properties, we analyze them, we tokenize them, we put them on our platform, we collect the funds, we find tenants, we collect the rents, we distribute the rents proportionally every month to each investor. And when there is something to be changed in the property, we take care of it. So you might be wondering, where is the ESG here? So ESG stands for social, environment, and governance. Our main pillar at Equito is the social one. We created Equito because we couldn't access the real estate market, and we figured out that a lot of people couldn't. Today, it's easier to access, for example, the stocks market or the crypto markets, and the rewards can be quite important, but it's always a risk-reward ratio, right? If you can have a very good reward, the risk associated is very important as well. And it's a pain to see that real estate, that is one of the most secure assets today, is difficult to access for most of the population to store their money and make their money start to work for them. So this is what we want to do: enable anyone that didn't have access to real estate to a safe asset to store their money and generate some yields with it, to be able to access it. On the other side of it, we rent our properties to students. So the profitabilities our investors get are coming from the rents that students are paying. And there's a big problem these days in big cities. It's very difficult for students to find properties. Not only to find properties, but also clean properties. There are a lot of properties that people shouldn't be living in, but these are the properties that are available for students. And the good ones, well, most of the time, that's what we see in Paris, where I'm from, in Barcelona, where we work. The prices are not reasonable for students. So our goal is also to provide fair accommodation, a fair pricing for student accommodation with a clean apartment to live in. So our big challenge, the main challenge, is to balance the profitability that we give to investors, because if you come to our platform and you don't have a good profitability for real estate, you wouldn't invest with us. But at the same time, if we push too much, which we could, it's not fair for the students that will come and live in our properties. So we want both parties to be happy, and we try to balance as best as we can between profit and fairness. Second social characteristic of Equito: make finance, traditional finance, accessible to everyone. So, as I said, a lot of people early in this presentation, a lot of people do not have access to loans, and leverage in real estate is something very important. It enables people to do more with their real estate investment. So this is what we decided to give access to our users as well. As a company, we have a track record. We can borrow to the bank to invest in our properties, and then we can enable our users to invest through us in leverage properties, and again do more with the money that they have. They can invest in from 100 euros in 2 minutes and do more with their money. Third social characteristic that we started implementing It's a more technical one and it takes time, but we're on the way to do so. It's enabling users to have access to alternative finance. What I call alternative finance is basically DeFi, decentralized finance. So basically DeFi, the goal of DeFi is to enable anyone to have access to financial products without having a central entity that says yes or no based on the profile. So it should be inclusive. But the problem with DeFi today is that there is a big technical barrier. It's difficult for most of the people to understand how it works, how a collateral works in DeFi. What are the DeFi protocols that I can use? How can I use stacking to do more with my money? So we decided also to implement DeFi in our application with a simple user interface, so that even if you don't know about blockchain, even if you don't know about DeFi, you will still be able to have DeFi features to do more with your money, and we'll also educate our user on how this works. So I'll give you two examples, if you're not familiar with DeFi, about what we can do. The first one is borrow money. In real life, I have a property. I can go to the bank, put my property in collateral, and borrow money against it. And I can, with this money, buy more properties or just do my life. I don't want to sell my property, I need money. So I borrow money. With the token and DeFi, I can do exactly the same thing. I have a token which represents a real life asset. I can put my token as collateral and borrow money with DeFi. That way, I can buy more tokens and do more with my money. Or I can just enjoy with the money that I borrowed while my asset is still running. And there's also the stacking features. So basically, stacking is the concept of putting an asset on the blockchain, more or less as a guarantee to make the network run, and I get reward because of this. So we could think about a scenario where every month, when we distribute the rents of our users, they have the option to, with the click of a button, to stake their earnings. And that way they will be able to access compound interest, do more with their money. Second pillar for us, the governance, how the company is governed, managed, and how our operations are. So we spent a lot of time and a lot of resources on making all the information available about our operations and highlighting the most important ones, so that the user that do not have time can understand how exactly the company operation works, what are the main real estate topics that we have, and at the same time, if he or her want to know more, they can access it more in details. So easy and transparent access to all the information related to our real estate operations, but also to the company operations. And what we want to do in the future as well, we already started this, but because of the current infrastructure, it's difficult to have this finalized quick, is to have everything in an open ledger. So people see the information. If they want to verify it, they are able to do so by looking on the blockchain, on the blockchain scans. I'll give you a concrete example of this. So we manage properties. When we buy a property, we tokenize it so that people can invest in it. The action of tokenization is recorded on the blockchain with a timestamp. So I can see when it happened, and the exact rules of it. Then each time someone invests in a token, it's recorded also on the blockchain. So I can see all the transactions on this ledger. When I collect the rent, me as Equito, this can be also recorded on the blockchain. I can also record every time that I pay my utility bills so that users can see the money getting in, the money getting out with the exact amount. And they can see when I redistribute the rents as well. So as I said, the current infrastructure makes it more difficult. I cannot pay my utility bills for now in cryptocurrencies or in stable coins. So we have to develop bridges in order to pay in fiat while the money that gets out is in crypto. And it's a bit complex, but this is where we are going exactly. Easy access to information, being able to verify it. And the last step, so we're a fairly new company. The company has 2 years now. So we are working more on the social and governance aspect from S2 2023, so the second semester. On our roadmap, we will start to work on reducing the energy consumption. So we have 4 pillars in our strategy for this. The first one is educating our tenants. They are students. It's normal that some of them don't know everything about the energy consumption, what consumes what, and how can I save energy. So we will educate them on on the energy consumption and how can they save on this. The second one is optimizing. So we can't say to our students, don't put the heater on if the property is not well isolated and it's really cold. So we will also optimize the energy consumption of our properties by providing the proper installations and the proper tools for it. Measure, being able to measure, it's really important to see the impact of our actions. I saw that there are several companies that are presenting today that have solutions to measure and act on it. I saw Johan that spoke before me, and I know there are other companies, so I'll stay and listen to them. I'll be happy to discover more their solutions. And incentive. We want to incentive users, our tenants, to basically consume less energy. So this can be a money incentive. For example, if you reach certain goals, you pay less. But we can also include them in the app. They are paying for a rent. People are buying tokens to get profit for it. We could think about scenarios where if they reach certain milestones, we could give them tokens so that they pay rents, but they get a return on the rents that they get. This was all for Equito. So as a resume, our main pillars are the social. We want to enable anyone to be able to invest in a secure asset and make their money work for them, have access to traditional and alternative finance without having a technical or a financial barrier. We want to provide the right amount of information so that people can take educated decision and basically verify the information that we could communicate to them. And starting from next year, we want to start working on the environmental aspect of it by enabling users, by enabling the company to educate, optimize, measure, and incentive our tenants. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me.
Cool, thank you very much. How many people make use already of Equito?
So now we already have 7,000 people on the app.
Wow, great. And are they all buying real estate in Spain or also different kind of countries?
For now, we only have real estate in Spain. We are based in Barcelona, and basically we want to be on the field to talk to our tenants, find them And if something happens with the properties, being able to provide the proper maintenance. And when we'll have the adequate structure, we'll think about other countries such as our neighbors, Portugal, for example.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Naji, to be with us today. I hope you will enjoy the other presentations as well. And like I mentioned, the recordings will be coming online after this event. So yeah, I think in 5 minutes we will go over to and then we will talk about parametric design. So we have all different kind of solutions all day long, and I hope you will enjoy that as much as I do. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Uter, and thank you, Krista, also for the organization.
Thank you. Enjoy your day.
Thank you.